Welcome, what is up? Thank you for tuning back into the Chaos Slayer. Of course, I am Chris Chaos, here with your Smackdown 411 for January the 24th, 2017. Now, a lot took place on Smackdown, but I'm very displeased as to how there wasn't like the major push for the Royal Rumble. I mean, the Rumble's in 5 days, so you would think that there would be this major push as far as the actual Rumble goes. We didn't really get that except for in one segment during the Battle Royal, but I'll talk about that. Daniel Bryan starts off the show with The Miz interrupting. I thought this is where the Battle Royal should have been announced, but it wasn't. It was just like an afterthought later. Miz gets a title match, his rematch tonight in a Lumberjack match, which I like. It's kind of old school, very old school, kind of different. They don't do these very often, so I fully support that. Randy beats Luke Harper at. I kind of feel like, we don't know. Bray hit Sister Abigail on Luke after the match. We don't know what really is going on with that. We don't know if he's just kicked out, or we don't know if he's just being punished, or what. I'm sure I can't remember who's going to be on Talking Smack tonight. I can't remember if they said Randy was or not, but anyway, we'll find it out eventually, I hope. Maybe sometime this week before the Rumble or leading up into the Rumble. Mickie James. I have to talk about Mickie James. Just absolutely destroyed it tonight. Now, her promo wasn't all that great, like her delivery, but what she said had a lot of substance, and it should have hit home, which it did to me. I just hope that it delivered to everybody else, making her the monster heel that she wants to be, or that they envision for Mickie to be going forward, is good, because that's the reason why she come back. So that's question 1 answered. Question 2 was why Becky, and that was answered too, because she doesn't respect or acknowledge the contributions that she's made throughout her career for the WWE and just for women's wrestling, period. 5-time women's champion, a Divas champion. I mean, of course, it all makes sense. To me, it does anyway. I love seeing Mickie James back, and I've not held back about this. I have loved every second of this. I cannot believe this is actually happening, but these girls are going to learn a lot from working with her. And I don't know if she worked any house shows or not this past week. I don't know if how many she's going to work going forward, but I guess time will tell and we'll see. But she came in and she's doing what she needs to do. She answered the 2 questions, really, why and why Becky. And she came in and she put over Alexa, which is, you can't ask for more. You can't ask for more. It's all part of a plan. And now that I'm seeing where the plan's going, I like it. And I think it's the right plan. And, WWE has this tendency of actually doing the right things if you trust them. And, well, Natty comes after Nikki, but doesn't really come after her. Nikki actually almost attacks Natty, and Natty turns it around. Well, then later on, Nikki really does attack Natty and calls her not to be able to have the match with Naomi. I'll get to that in a second, but first I want to get to this whole Cena AJ thing. Cena just absolutely buried AJ on the mic, and I didn't like it. And I hate the way that they did him on the Today Show. John Cena should know better than this. And this really pisses me off, because they more or less made fun of the main guy that's supposed to be, titles are supposed to mean something. And that title that he has is supposed to mean it all. It's supposed to be the one standard in the business. It's supposed to be the highest level. It's supposed to be what everybody wants. And to me, he's seen to come off as, I don't care about this guy, which means I don't really care that he has the title that I supposedly want. So he buries him, not only tonight on the show, but he buried him in front of a national audience, a lot of people that don't watch wrestling, and that was no kind of hype for their match. He should be on there saying, this is a tough challenge, he's already beaten me 3 times, I don't know if I can get it, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to prove why I still deserve to be here and do this. And he didn't do that. He had a national, and I don't know what he's done. He's been on the Today Show so many times. I don't know what he's done previously, but right before one of the big 4 pay-per-views, he had the opportunity to really sell this match to people that aren't subscribers to the network, that people aren't WWE fans, and he failed. He absolutely failed. And I can't believe that I'm saying this, because I've been such a huge proponent for John Cena for many years, and backed him, and supported him, and defended him. And for him to come up on the Today Show and just talk, like, even if he went back later and said it, what they showed on Smackdown tonight should have never aired on the Today Show. It should have never been on TV anywhere. And it's fucking awful that it was. It's just awful. And it makes me lose respect just a little bit for John Cena for not doing what he needed to do on that audience, or with that audience watching. The Battle Royal, Mojo wins. He gets a spot in the Royal Rumble, which is good. There was no hype for this. There should have been some kind of hype, like when they started off the show. This is the big deal. You're going into the Royal Rumble. No, they just glanced over it. Ziggler beats Kalisto very quickly. Apollo comes out to make the save, so Dolph doesn't do a post-match beatdown. I suspect that Dolph and Apollo will have a match at the Royal Rumble on the pre-show, because the pre-show is 2 hours long. They're going to have to fill it with something other than talk. They can't just talk for 2 hours. But the majority of it will be talk for 2 hours. Natty versus Naomi was supposed to happen, and I had actually missed Naomi being on, but I think she's very gifted, and she has come a long way. Now she's still not on that level, I don't think, but she's getting there. She's getting there. And I have missed seeing her on TV because I like the glow gimmick. It's different, which in the business it's hard to be different at this point. It's 2017. But Nikki attacks Natty in the backstage. Naomi says, "Nuh-uh, this ain't gonna happen. The land of opportunities, I'm about to land my opportunity." And then challenges any woman to come out. Alexa comes out, not to fight, but just pretty much to run her down and say you'll never get within, 2 feet, whatever, of the title. And it's good. It kind of makes it look like this is where they're going to go for the next pay-per-view, which is the Elimination Chamber in a couple of weeks. So I like it. The Lumberjack match was oh, by the way, there's a 6-woman tag match going to be on the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, which kind of pisses me off. Alexa, Mickey, Natty versus Nikki, Naomi, and Becky. I hate that that's on the pay-per-view because you've got a title match that's on the pre-show, which I get what WWE is doing. They're trying to get people to watch the pre-show. And I wouldn't be surprised if the titles change hands, quite honestly, but I just think it's a bad look overall. The Lumberjack match was good. It was like your standard Lumberjack match. It really was, and I thoroughly enjoyed it just because it's kind of a match of my lost era that I love, the old school of pro wrestling. And I'm glad that it ended up the way it did, because Miz doesn't need that title anymore. Because let's face it, if they give him the title, they're liable to take it off of him again in 2 weeks to give him to somebody else. And I hate this back and forth booking of the IC title. So let Dean do his thing with the title, and just keep it, and we'll be done with it later. Anyway, that's all I've got. Stay tuned for the channel. I've got the Royal Rumble predictions, and maybe something else coming up before the Royal Rumble. I've been doing a lot of thinking about how I see the road to WrestleMania leading up, and I'm gonna go in deep on that video probably Friday night. So be on the lookout for that. Until then, as always, deuces, guys. Cast out.